All right, guys, with all of that down and out of the way, now it's time to go over and take a little bit of movie news.
What?
What?
All right. First and foremost, you guys, I want to talk WandaVision. If you haven't already seen the show WandaVision, I encourage you to click away now or forever hold your clicks. This will be where am I? How am I doing this? There we go. A WandaVision spoiler talk. WandaVision spoiler talk. The first 2 episodes of WandaVision are out right now on Disney Plus. I watched them. I thoroughly enjoyed them. So if there's anything regarding WandaVision that you want to talk, jump on down to the comment section below. Also, later in the show, after we finish talking about WandaVision, we are going to talk about Spider-Man 3. So if you have because there's some Spider-Man 3 set photos that have dropped. But we'll talk about that in a moment. But first, you guys, WandaVision. My overall thoughts, and we are going to talk spoilers, so be warned. My overall thoughts, I really enjoyed it. It's a weird format. I mean, it's not a weird format, but it's a format that we've never seen before in the MCU, right? It's a 1950s, 1960s black and white sitcom. Much in the vein of and everybody keeps saying Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy, Bewitched, because those are the shows they have specifically been drawing inspiration from. Donna Reed, Father Knows Best, Ozzie and Harriet. It's these kinds of shows that WandaVision in its first 2 episodes had been drawing a lot of inspiration from. And it feels just like a 1950s, 1960s sitcom. It feels of that era. The jokes are just silly and ridiculous the same way that they would have been back in the 1950s and 1960s. Even just down to the silly plot lines or storylines of each episode. Here's the gambit of this episode. Magic, right? I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. It has just enough intrigue of hang on a second. What the scene in the pilot episode. The pilot episode. In the first episode where Vision's boss comes over and he starts eating his beef and he starts choking, and there's this moment of oh no, what do we do? Not just oh no, what do we do, but how is this happening? What is happening right now? It was such an interesting moment. And then of course, Vision kind of uses his phasing powers, I guess, to kind of reach into his boss's throat and pull out that little piece of lodged beef. And then in the second episode, we have even more question things. There was that whole the beekeeper popping up out of the storm grate, the sewer grate. There were so many interesting moments about this that were, and the radio crackling saying, Wanda, are you there? Wanda, where are you? This, in just its first 2 episodes, I'm I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm hooked, but I'm hooked. If this were any other show, I would kind of be what in the world is going on here? It's like the Dick Van Dyke Show meets Lost. And I like that. I'm digging that. I think that's a really fun kind of vibe. Anyway, guys, we're going to jump into spoilers. We're going to jump into some of the Easter eggs, what some of them mean. Maybe some of you caught them. Maybe some of you didn't. And, I'm just using a list that's on Yahoo. So if there's something that you caught that isn't on this list on Yahoo, jump down to the comment section below. I definitely want to hear what's on your brain. Spill your brains, as we once previously coined. All right, cool. So I just want to jump into this particular article right now. We're just going to scroll through. Let's get rid of this advertisement. Okay, so as we all know, it's kind of, in the vein of like Bewitched and I Love Lucy and Dick Van Dyke and all that stuff, right? Cool, awesome. But then we get to like one of the main characters of the show. Now, if you don't want any of this to be spoiled, again, click away now. This is a lot of what we're going to talk about is speculation. Not all of it, but some of it. So if you want to continue on with the series completely blind, click away. Because we are going to talk some speculation stuff. And this is a lot of the speculation that's in this article here on Yahoo Entertainment. So, of course, Catherine Hahn is playing the character Agnes. She's like the next door neighbor. I'm the nosy neighbor. I want to know everything about you guys, right? So there is some fan speculation going on right now that she's actually going to be playing the character Agatha Harkness. Now, who is Agatha Harkness? Let's jump out of here. While there isn't a Marvel Comics character of the same name as Agnes, speculation is high that Agnes will turn out to be none other than Agatha Harkness, a powerful sorceress who tangled with the Scarlet Witch in the comics. I don't know why they call it the funny books. That's a weird way to put it. First as a nemesis and later as a kind of teacher. Beyond the similar names, fans also pointed out that Catherine Hahn, the actor, sports a telltale brooch on the show. Other evidence? Agnes has dubbed her rabbit Sir Scratch. The name of Agatha's son is Nicholas Scratch. As for her never-seen husband, Ralph, that could be a moniker for the demon Mephisto, who is intimately connected to a storyline that's set up at the end of the second episode. Possible setup. It's not a definite setup. It's a possible setup. Again, this is all speculation. So, of course, on Twitter, people are pointing out that I think this is kind of clever. Maybe this is like complete people looking into it too much, but I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Agatha Harkness. Let's capitalize the A and the G in Agatha, capitalize the N-E-S in Harkness, and you get Agnes. Which is, is that true? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. So there's the brooch that was aforementioned between both Catherine Hahn and the comic character. And of course, yeah, her referring to her bunny as her Scratch. Yeah, that whole thing. So that's pretty cool, right? And then Mephisto, who knows? I don't know. It's possible. I don't know if it's probable. It might be probable. I don't know. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. But then again, who else is going to be like the main villain here? Also, the character of Geraldine. This caught me by surprise a little bit when and the actor's name is failing me at the moment, but the woman who we already know is cast as why are names not coming to my brain right now? Monica Rambeau. We already know that this actor is playing Monica Rambeau. So in the episode, when Wanda asks her what her name is, she goes, Geraldine, right? So there's an obvious kind of connection there. Yeah. So is she? So again, it's being speculated. Is she there? Does Monica Rambeau know that she's there wherever there is? We don't actually know where there is, right? We know that Sword is an organization. We'll get to it. Actually, we're talking about it now. So let me jump down here a second. Sword is an organization in the comics, much like S.H.I.E.L.D., where Nick Fury was head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sword is much like, it's very akin to Shield, but it's more of the intergalactic version of Shield in the comics. So obviously they are introducing Sword into the MCU. At the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, we already saw Nick Fury on a spaceship surrounded by tons of Skrulls going out into the galaxy for some reason. Something, who knows? Probably to set up Sword. Probably. That's my theory. That's a lot of people's theory. And then the Sword logo now pops up in this show on the back of the Beekeeper, on a computer monitor, and on a notebook, as like, and there's somebody in like some kind of an underground bunker room or whatever looking at this monitor that's playing like old classic 1950s episodes of whatever, starring Wanda and Vision, which is such a weird concept. Like, is she... okay, so here's the thing. If Mephisto, however you pronounce it, if Mephisto is the big bad of this series, if he is the villain, it kind of makes sense that Wanda would be kind of sucked into kind of like this weird television world and she can't get out. Now, I know a lot of us are speculating that up until we watch the show, that WandaVision is going to be based on the House of M storyline, where Wanda just can't handle the fact that Vision is dead, that her children are dead, and so she manifests her children back to life. And it's not real. It's just a projection of her children. So, of course, the X-Men and the Avengers come in to stop her. And that's where she utters the words, "No more mutants." And then all the mutants get obliterated. Well, like 95% of the mutant population gets obliterated. Except for the X-Men, because, hey, they're the main story characters, right? Anyway, that's a whole other tangent. So we know Sword is involved somehow. And somebody is monitoring all of this. So okay, so there's Sword. So we know Sword is a part of this. Then we get to the ads. Like, there are commercials. There's one commercial break per episode so far. The first commercial break was of the Toastmate 2000, I think. It was just a toaster, but it was made by Stark Industries, and it has like some very interesting plugs and things about it. One viewer pointed out that when you push the button down on the toaster, then it makes the same sound as Tony Stark's like hand, like that whole thing. And then we get to this particular watch made by Strucker, and it says Hydra. What does it say? Sorry. 1000 Hydra, and then it has a Hydra logo, then it says 1000. Obviously Baron von Strucker from Age of Ultron. If you are not familiar, if you're not putting these pieces together, Baron von Strucker was the guy who experimented with Loki's staff. It was the Mind Stone before Vision became Vision. When the Mind Stone was still in Loki's staff, Baron von Strucker got his hands on the staff and then experimented on two people from Sokovia, who turned out to be Wanda and her brother Pietro Maximoff, and turns them into Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch using the Mind Stone, which is why in Avengers Infinity War, everybody said, "Wanda, you were the only one that can destroy this thing because your magical powers come from the Mind Stone. So nothing else can destroy the Mind Stone except for powers that came from the Mind Stone, which is you." That whole thing. So this watch, the commercial for this watch is a reference to Baron von Strucker, the guy who created Wanda Maximoff. The calendar is August 23rd, and the Hydra watch is pointing to 8/23. Connection? Probably. And that was the first thing that jumped out to me when I was watching the first episode. Like, there's something. What is it about August 23rd? There's something about August 23rd. Can't quite put my finger on it, but we'll get there. Bee's knees. Okay, yeah. So who is the beekeeper? Who is the beekeeper? We don't know. We don't know who the beekeeper is. It is speculated that it is Jimmy Woo, the FBI agent from Ant-Man and the Wasp. It is highly speculated that he is now, having been recruited into S.W.O.R.D., is on some kind of a mission to find Wanda. Also, it's being speculated that it's his voice coming over the radio. I think it was during the second episode. Wanda, are you there? Wanda, where are you? That whole thing. So it's being speculated that the beekeeper is Jimmy Woo. We don't know that for certain. So we'll just kind of have to lay wait and see what's going on. More logos from S.W.O.R.D. S.W.O.R.D. obviously stands for, I'd say obviously, but S.W.O.R.D., if you don't know, stands for the Sentient World Observation and Response Department. Just an intergalactic version of S.H.I.E.L.D., essentially, is all that is. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then the For the Children. For the children. So at the end of the second episode, Wanda and Vision hear clamoring out in the front yard, and they go out and they come to find that it's the beekeeper, and then it freaks Wanda out. It freaks out Wanda. So she kind of reverses time a little bit so they can go back to that the tender moment that she and Vision had just before the clamoring out on the street. So then you come to find out, the camera pans out. Oh my goodness, Wanda's pregnant. Is this real? Yes, it's real, right? Is she really pregnant, or is this just in her imagination? I mean, if we're drawing inspiration from the House of M storyline, I would say that her being pregnant is just in her mind. I don't think that it's actually real. Let me fix this camera just a little bit. There we go. I don't think that it's actually real. But it's possible that she got pregnant before the events of, well, I don't know. How would that work? That wouldn't work, because you can't be pregnant for 5 years. So I have a feeling that this is all in her mind. She's not actually pregnant. That this will lead into some kind of a House of M story kind of thing, whatever. Anyway, guys, if you were interested in talking spoilers about WandaVision, what were things that you picked up on? This was just an article from Yahoo Entertainment. They listed like a whole bunch of stuff. I thought it was pretty interesting, somewhat eye-opening. Also, it's very speculative. The whole thing is extremely speculative. We don't know actually what is happening yet. We have speculation, but we don't actually have confirmation as to what all the things that are happening in WandaVision are until they unfold week by week. So this Friday, we will get our next installment of WandaVision. If there's anything WandaVision specifically related that you want to talk about, jump on down to the comment section below and let's start a conversation. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Batman from the animated series would want you to do. His name is Batman.